South Africa's premier motorsport circus performed its final show of the year in the Western Cape last weekend. Round 11 of the 2008 Westbank Super Series took place at the Killarney race circuit in Milnerton near Cape Town. The event attracted large numbers of local racing enthusiasts who streamed into Killarney from early on Saturday morning. They anticipated a full program of spectacular motorsport, and they were not to be disappointed. As always, the hosting Western Province Motor Club rolled out every possible red carpet for the visiting competitors. We asked Westbank Super Series spokesperson Chop Sapuka what the crowd and our viewers could expect.
This is the Westbank Series. It's the final race. We are out in Cape Town in Killarney. All the pressure's on. Some of the championships haven't been decided yet. Chops, what can we expect?
Oh, definitely we're going to be expecting this great weather from here forward. And we got a bumper-to-bumper crowds coming into the Killarney circuit. And mostly we've got such a pleasant atmosphere. Drivers are under pressure. They've got to perform. It's the last round. And it's going to be a nail-biting race.
Well, then let's get back to the action.
Action indeed, and let no tyre remain unsmoked. The day's activities would centre around the final 2 rounds of this season's Bridgestone South African Production Car Championship. And we spoke to Bridgestone's motorsport manager Jan Maritz about the series.
I'm standing here with Jan Maritz, the promotions advertising manager for Bridgestone. Tell me, how's the year been for you guys?
Sydney, it's been a great year. The racing's been close throughout the classes. Like you know, today, the last race of the season, everything's up for grabs in Class A with a number of drivers able to win. Class T has been taken by Graham Nathan after an excellent year, and Class B has been taken by Ben Morganroot. So we're very happy the way that it's gone. The tyres performed well. Drivers put up a great show. So yes, we're very happy.
One of the drivers putting up a great show was Cape Townian crowd favourite Johan Fourie, fighting for this year's Class A title in front of his home crowd. The multiple former South African champion was placed under huge pressure to perform well.
Johan Fourie of India Oil Audi, this is your home track here at Killarney. 1 point on Taylor, championship. It is the last race meetings. What can we expect?
No, for sure, it's going to be done. It's going to be close. Every single point you can collect today or tomorrow is going to be very important. And like you said, it's down to the wire. It's so close in the championship. So for sure, there's still that second heat of Swartkops that's debatable, or it can be reinstated or not. So I'm actually going to put in my head that I'm trailing by 11 points and try to beat him with those points. And then for a fact, and I know if I beat him tomorrow, we are the championship. Doesn't matter if they reinstate that race or not. But the pressure's on for sure. I think everybody's very close after the first couple of sessions you saw. I think the top 8 or top 9 is within a second or 8/10ths of a second. So for sure it's going to be very close. And I mean, qualifying is going to be all about it. You need to be in the front row. You need to make sure you can get away clean, and then pace yourself for the first race. And then at second heat, everybody always knows there's corners in the second heat coming from behind when you start 8th or when the top 8 swap over. So it's going to be very difficult, and you have to finish both heats.
Going to Killarney, the top 6 drivers in this year's Class A Championship were covered by just 27 points, with Johan Fourie, Anthony Taylor and Michael Stephen at the top of the log. With 38 points to fight for in the year's final 2 races, the tension in the pits was electrifying. Friday afternoon's qualifying session provided surprises and unexpected participants at the post-qualifying press conference.
Yeah, I must be honest, I'm quite happy to get third. I think we struggled a bit throughout the day, but nice to get it on third after qualifying. So yeah, just a big thank you to the team. I think we've had a strong second half of the season, so it's good to be up at the front, and hopefully we can have a strong race.
Yeah, no, for sure it's going to be tough. We expected to be in the front row. Leroy a little bit surprised us. He did a very quick time. So for sure it's going to be a hard race, and the most important thing for us, or for all 3 of us, is just to get through turn 1. I think if we get through turn 1, then we can definitely have a long, hard fight and keep it clean and make sure we finish the race.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, that was, for me, do or die for the championship. I have to get the pole position yesterday and to win the first heat. So, it's really close, and if I do that, then it goes down to the second race. I think we're within about 5 points between all of us in the second race, which then it will be really good. I'm glad to have my teammate with me, another Nissan with the front, And I think, you know, it is Johan's track, but we have shown that we've been quicker and we're going to take it to him.
With the qualifying times of the quickest 7 drivers covered by just 0.6 of a second, the crowd eagerly awaited the start of Saturday's opening race, while drivers suffered severe butterflies in the stomach syndrome.
Well, this is what it's all come down to, the final round of Bridgestone Production Cars Class A. 4 drivers can take it, but they're going to have to keep their noses very, very clean. They all want to get through turn number 1 on the first race, and it's Leroy Polter that leads the way.
Certainly the start that he wanted. Leroy's in with a shot for that title, as you said, Matt. And Michael Stephen, one of the other contenders, way, way back in the field. But with that rolling start, that team Nissan certainly looking very quick and getting through turn 1 without any incident. And we have a look at Melville Priest in that the Lenovo MyCar Audi, tapping team rider Sean Watson-Smith in the Engine Extreme Audi, and right on his inside, it looks like Etienne van der Linde is putting him under pressure. But Marco Acuna, great start. Qualified in 3rd, up to 2nd already. The Nissans look fast.
It's looking really good for the Nissans and the BMWs. The rear-wheel drives have a great time in race number 1 with a rolling start. Race number 2 is going to be all about 4-wheel drive traction. Watch out for the Audis, but remember, reversing the grid is going to flip things out a little bit. At the moment, Anthony Taylor doesn't care about that. He is chasing down, but he's a little bit off the pace of the Nissans at the moment as they head down into what is now known as Cape Town Corner. Flat out, and everything she's got on the brakes. Watch the guys covering the lines on the inside.
Yeah, it's exciting racing. Beautiful view of Table Mountain for the drivers coming down this straight, but I don't think they're looking at the view right now. They're watching their wing mirrors and making sure they've blocked that line. Let's look at Sean Watson-Smith in a bit of a ding-dong battle. Davy Willifred quite way back, but the Nissans are looking fast. Johan Fourie is going to be stoked with this. It's about putting as many points on the board off this race 1. And Anthony Taylor with Johan Fourie on his left-hand side. The better line going at this corner is wanting to keep it neat and tight in the Afrox BMW. These are 2 men in with a shot to win this title. It doesn't get more exciting than this. Bridgestone Production Cars at its best.
Fourie slides himself up. That's going to do him a world of good in his championship chase. He knows he's got the pace down here. He's looking forward to a nice clean race in race number 1. Needs to keep the Indy Oils Audi in the one piece. Keep it together. Keep it absolutely fired up for race number 2. He's got his hometown crowd here, so the crowd are cheering for the hometown hero.
Have you seen anything of Michael Stephen yet, Matt? I know he had a lot of problems during qualifying. Didn't even get to put the car on a hot lap, so he had to start from the back of the grid. But I did get a glimpse of that other Engine Extreme Audi car coming through the pack. So I'm sure with Sean Watson-Smith in front, he's going to try and assist him as much as possible to get him into the shot.
I will never count out Michael Stephen. We've seen him do some of the most impressive overtaking moves Bridgestone Production Cars has seen this season, but he has got a lot to do to get up to the pace of the front leaders. What is happening though, no one's really getting away, which is nice to see. We've got a nice gaggle of drivers, nose to tail, and we've still got a chance of a lot of overtaking maneuvers. Lee Thompson in Gallardo IT BMW, he's showing improved style down here at Cape Town. 1, 2 and 3, Polter, Acuna and Fourie starting to get away now. The second battle is all about the Team Engine Extreme drivers of Watson-Smith and Michael Stephen. He's got himself up there.
Oh, it looks like somebody shot very, very wide. That's Hawkins who, my word, that is a big off. Turn 1. I don't know if he's locked brakes and just left the braking point too late, but he's smashed into that barrier. I don't see them fixing that car in a hurry. Maybe a safety flag is going to come out for this. Let's see if they can get that car sorted out. But going on with the racing out front, Leroy Polter is a man possessed at the moment. We know there's no official Nissan team racing next year in Bridgestone Production Cars, and he's certainly wanting to go out on a high. Marco Acuna sticking with him, and Johan Fourie right up there as well. But right at the back, I'm sure the 3 Audis are going to work together. Sean Watson-Smith, Michael Stephen, and Melville Priest, I'm sure going to be helping to chase on Chop Sapuka in that second Sassel Nissan.
I don't think Acuna has finished with race leader Polter though. Those 2 Nissans are absolutely amazing at the front. The problem is they're slowing each other down because Johan Fourie is starting to close them up, and he is not afraid to throw an elbow. What we want to see though is the other guys come and join the battle. We need Taylor to get up there. We need to see the style of Chop Sapuka come and join the party, as well as the Engine Extreme Audis.
When you talk about that, Chop looks like he's got a good time. Anthony Taylor pulls out, oh my word, what has gone on there? Looks like he's left his braking too long, sweeping through turn 1 backwards, not the way you want to do it, but more importantly, he's taken out the Afrox BMW of Anthony Taylor.
Well, Morris, I know as you come into that corner, there's a bit of a bump, so maybe he's got a little bit light. braked at the wrong point, and that has taken Taylor out of the race and out of the championship battle. He will be absolutely gutted. Afrox BMW had high hopes for the 08 season.
I don't think Chops is going to have a fan in the Afrox BMW team after this race, because it looks like Anthony Taylor is definitely out, and that's his championship over and done. As you see, Chops has got his car back on the track and back into racing. But Matt, you're right, Johan Ferrari has got right onto the back of them. So it looks like the two Nissans are slowing each other down. But a very dejected and disgusted Anthony Taylor, looking at his championship hopes and his car beached at turn 1. Look at Johan Ferrari though, late on the braking. That is super aggressive.
Grabs a little bit of curb up the inside, shoved himself wide though. D'Cunha comes back on him on the inside. The next corner is just a slight flip over to the left as they come up the start-finish straight. And as the racing really starts to heat up, 1, 2 and 3 tripping over each other, and they're coming up on back markers. This will get messy.
I can't believe they don't have lights on. It looks like Leroy's starting to do the flashing now. But have a look at Johan Ferrari, looking for a unique line, and it's not really helping. But Marco D'Cunha has got past Leroy Poulter. Clearly he was getting distracted by our back markers, a couple of them running wide, keeping out of the way. But that's given Johan Ferrari a second bite at it, and he could find himself from third, fighting for first place at this corner. This is super exciting racing, a lot of bodywork being touched. This is what the crowds at Killarney came to see. Final race, and these guys are fighting for a championship.
3 cars abreast coming into that corner. It doesn't get any tighter. Watch out for Ferrari though. He's got that 4-wheel drive, the Quattro system. He's able to power around the outside, finds himself now into second place in the last lap, almost the last corner. He's going to be chasing it down. He'll be very, very happy with that result. Still keeps him in the fight for the championship, but it's going to be Poulter who takes the win in race number 1 at the final round here at Killarney.
Poulter won from Ferrari by just 4/10 of a second. Meanwhile, the unfortunate Marco D'Cunha was docked 5 positions for passing under a yellow flag, elevating title hopeful Michael Stephen to 3rd place. Afterwards, we found a happy Leroy Poulter in the post-race paddock.
Leroy Poulter started on pole and finished the race.
No, it's just it's what we needed, as I said all along. Yes, our car's been good here to the team, Sassel, Nissan. Well done, guys. But we needed that, you know. I mean, I don't know if we got fastest lap there. We need that one, but let's see. We still got this championship in our hands.
Well, that's all about second race. I saw Ferrari came in and trying to give a bit of pressure there.
Yeah, look, he was quick. We knew that Audi would be quick at the end, but I think we can have him in the next race. And yeah, we look forward to it.
Well, there's 10 laps left of Bridgestone production car racing, and the season's going to come to end, and the champion is going to be crowned. Marco D'Cunha, very grumpy after being docked positions in race 1, got himself into pole position with a reverse grid, but didn't really help with a shocking start, and he finds himself fighting out for 5th position. But the man on the charge is Melville Priest in the Lenovo Micro Audi. Got a great start, as well as Sean Watson-Smith and Lee Thompson in the Gallardo BMW, all looking super racy. But Michael Stephen is the one who's got to win a championship. He's got Johan Ferrari up against him as well, and Leroy Poulter. You call it, Matt.
Yeah, I can't say. All I can talk about at the moment is D'Cunha wasn't really left sleeping on the line. What he was in was a rear-wheel drive car, just spinning up those tyres. The all-wheel drive, the Quattro system. Melville Priest had that thing revved up to the rev limiter on the red line. He dropped the hammer and shot off into the lead. That's going to stand him in a good stead. He may be able to walk away with the final victory of the 008 season.
We are on board with Anthony Taylor. I'm sure that's how he wants to go out, ending the season on a high. He actually is in Etienne van der Linden's car, the teammate in the Afrox BMW team. We saw his car parked after race 1, beached up, and that was the end of Anthony Taylor's race. But he's out in race 2 and certainly wanting to prove a point. As we have a look at the action right up front now, and you can see the Engine Extreme Audis are there. Melville Priest is there, and oh, there's contact. Looks like Michael Stephen and Lee Thompson came together. Darby had nowhere to go in his Subaru, banged him nicely. But there's also a lot of action. Looked like one of the Sassel Nissans, Matt, were coming together with Anthony Taylor and Etienne van der Linden's car. Looks like they've got a love relationship for the rest of this race.
Oh, that's absolute chaos. It kind of happened coming out of that corner. Everyone bunched up and no one had any place to go. The man that really lost out there, and I've got to feel sorry for him, the one and only Subaru, Darby Elafir, had nowhere to go. There's D'Cunha. He goes shoving offline as well. He's in a ding-dong battle. Sapuka's trying to come up his inside there. There's no room. One more time, that Sassel Nissan goes spinning around. Collects D'Cunha this time. So let's rattle them off now. It's been Taylor and D'Cunha.
my word, I've actually never seen this car spend more time going backwards through turns. But what happened there, he ran onto the grass, and obviously when he came on the brakes, lost his grip. He doesn't have all-wheel drive, and I think that is kind of what put him into the spin over there. Have a look at Lee Thompson's car, showing the damage of that incident at Cape Town Corner. I don't think we're going to see him going out again. Davy Olivier, also a man who were not having the greatest weekend. He did so well at Killarney and Swartcross with the Subaru not looking like it was on form here at Killarney this weekend. So sad to see him out of the race, I guess. And Lee Thompson stepping up from Class T, second outing in the Gallardo BMW, not having the fun time at all.
Die ouens het mekaar net uitval hier, so ek weet nie wat sy draai se naam of wat ek al nie. En toe ek om die draai kom, toe ek nêrens te gaan nie. Ek meen Leroy was voor my gewees. Hy en een van die ander ouens het oor mekaar geklip. En ek het probeer om uit hulle pad te kom, te staan nou Lee Thompson agterste voor in die middel van die draai op die apex. Toe reken hy mekaar vas. Wel, hy het stil geloop.
Yeah, Davy just not having a good time. Another man not having a good time is Michael Stephen. Goes way, way wide, certainly using that quattro to full effect. But these guys are really having a great battle here. 3 Audis in a row, and we have got a fantastic spectacle for the final race of the day.
Yeah, current champion Sean Watson-Smith will wave his crown goodbye at the end of this race. Will he be handing it over to teammates in the Engine Audi, Michael Stephen, or is it going to be Johan Fourie in the Indy Oils Audi? Who knows? Leroy Potter seems to be way back. So I think it really is going to be a battle between these two. And I don't want to call it. With a couple of laps to go, it's going to be hair-raising to the end.
Well, danger man to watch out for, always Michael Stephen. Look at that line he was trying to make. A nice little gap at the inside of Melville Priest. Actually made it work, but Priest has got a good drive around the outside. Look at the main danger man. That's where my money is. 4th place on the road at the moment. Indy Oils Audi, Johan Fourie. He's looking at a very good possibility of a championship now.
See, he's got his lights on as Michael Stephen. I think he's saying to Melville, move out the way, mate. The championship race is between myself and Johan. And that's given Johan a real good sniff. It's held up Michael Stephen. And look at that Indy Oils Audi all over the back of the Engine Extreme Audi. 4-wheel drive being worked to the max. We get on to final lap. And they are swapping positions going to that final corner. And it looks like Michael's run wide. He must have a problem because that doesn't look like the 4-wheel drive Audi at its best. So that's given Johan Fourie the chance to get through. I think that's his championship over, Matt.
Stephen went deep into that corner. Definitely some problems with the turning. Might be a slow puncher, in fact, because I can see he's just not coping. In fact, Melville Priest is coming back at him. Understeered dramatically. Definitely. Front left tyre has gone. Said goodbye, and he can say goodbye to his championship.
What a way to go on the final lap. In with a shout in second position. The man in front is your teammate, who you know is probably going to pull off and give him the race win. And with that, probably the championship. But what a sad way to end as we see him pulling across the racetrack. That is the end. We're going to catch him with action. Michael Stephen is out with a shout. Sad way to go.
Well, that leaves his teammate at the front, and Johan Fourie is the man chasing down the title. But the final win in Production Cars Class A of the year goes to Sean Watson-Smith, and he bows out as champion and gives it over to Johan Fourie, the new #1 plate for Production Cars Class A 2008.
While Johan Fourie's crew started celebrating his title victory, Sean Watson-Smith was quietly satisfied after winning the year's final race.
That was awesome. I knew I had a good car today. First race felt fantastic, and then the power steering broke, which slowed me up. Got a bit of oil on the tyres and so on. But yeah, Heat 2 was really great. Great to finish the season off on a good note. You know, we didn't have the consistency this year. I won 5 heats, which I think is more than anybody else, but I think I'm only 4th or 5th in the championship. You know, you got to be consistent and score points in addition to getting wins. So, you know, while it's great to win a few races, we hope to do better next year.
And so the season ended on a fairy tale note for Johan Fourie, taking the title in front of his home crowd. It doesn't get better than this. The year's final Bridgestone Production Car Class T races boasted the presence of various newcomers, some of whom were justifiably nervous.
Well, the nerves are definitely there. You know, it's my first race meeting. I don't know what to expect. I've got the car out for 3 weeks now. I had 1 practice session, you know. Still busy with the setup of the car. I had some problems this morning, so I don't know what to expect. We'll see. Hopefully we'll for the best for qualifying.
So is this what you're going to be doing next year, riding in the Bridgestone Class T?
Yes, definitely. I've been doing drag racing for 8 years. You know, it's straight line speed, so I'm an adrenaline junkie really. So I've been out for a year. You know, I missed the speed, and I got back into. I bought myself a Polo, which I've been driving in the GTI Challenge, and I got hooked, eh? And then watching the West Bank Super Series is awesome, and I decided to buy me a GTI.
Sayat's Graham Nathan went to Killarney as this year's already crowned Class T champion, but he did not make it to the post-qualifying press conference. In this instance, those seats were reserved for Ford and Mazda drivers.
Yes, from a team's point of view, almost perfect qualifying, 1 and 3. So we're very happy. We're hoping for 1 and 2, but Mazda's up there. From a manufacturer's point of view, I think it's a perfect qualifying to have Ford and Mazda on the front grid and second Ford on the third place. So we're hoping for a great race. Scary moments, I think it was turn 5, Malmesbury, yeah, got a couple of them, just getting the car set up right and what have you. My first real race on this track, so I'm getting to know the track still, so I'm excited. So we're hoping for a great race, and I think we can do it.
Heinz Bozé was happy after qualifying his Mazda MPS 3 second, the car's best racing performance yet.
No, it's going great. We've had a strong second part of the season. We're getting stronger and stronger as the results show, and yeah, we're going to give the Fords a go, the parent company, but when the helmet's gone, we're going to race, and that's what we're going to do.
Pole sitter Gary Formato was even happier.
Well, if it keeps going like it is, I've got to say we've got a great car. The car's working exceptionally well. We've got good horsepower of the Ford engine. The chassis is working extremely well. Also the tyres, Bridgestone have given us some fantastic tyres to use. So, without them, I've got to say, it wouldn't be possible. So, as far as the race goes, get to the first corner. As Heinz says, I think when the red lights go out, it's everybody, for themselves. But also good for the Ford Motor Company. All the cars are up here. And it's great to see. Just congratulations to Sean and Heinz. I mean, Heinz has had a bad weekend, and I think Sean to be sitting up here at this stage of his career, I think it's a fantastic job.
Behind Formato, the quickest qualifying times of the next 5 cars were covered by less than a second, with Ford, Mazda, Opel, Volkswagen and Sayat all represented at the sharp end of the starting grid.
Well, the Class T Championship is already wrapped up by Graham Nathan. This is all about bragging rights and the fight for second place. Gary Formato has been on fire. The Fords have really come on. And let's talk about the Mazdas for a minute. Heinz Bozé on the top row for the start.
Graham Nathan, he's won it, you're right, but he's quite a way back, fighting out with the Golf GTIs. Not as something he's been accustomed to the whole season. It's been a race he's had with the Opel OPCs later on in the season, and of course also with those Nando Ford STs. But Gary Formato, this new car that they've built after the midway break, has been super quick. He had a great outing at Killarney, and he's looking like the man to beat this time round at Killarney. Sean Duminy, remember, this is his first season of proper professional racing, first time around the Killarney racetrack, and there's a lot that he's got to learn with the pressure of a whole bunch of other cars breathing down his neck.
Gary Van Heerden's got a bit of a big ask as well. Teammate Record Roots stepping out of his car, giving the #1 car to Gary Van Heerden. Hopefully he can bring it home in a nice position. But Bozé looking very, very strong at the moment. Second place, he's got himself around Duminy early on, and that's just created mayhem behind him. There's a new man to watch out for, Roach. He's actually running in one of the few GTI Polos and challenging the new champion.
But have a look out front, Gary Formato. It's only the second lap, and he's opened a huge gap. But Heinz Bozé finished, remember, race 2, Matt, at Killarney, had a great result. So I think he's certainly looking to finish his season on high, and that's going to be great for the Mazda team going to next year's Class T race. Kurt Alchin putting that Bodyman Golf GT up the inside of Sean Duminy. Great to see him back on form. We know he's a good racer. He's got a super wide car, and I don't think he's going to be giving up that third position very easily. But the man who's going to be chasing him down is Graham Nathan in that Sayat. He's looking for an overall production car championship title, something that I think the other guys in Class A have forgotten about in their own private little battle.
Well, Duminy is just getting absorbed by the bunch at the moment. The man behind him is Nathan. The man in front of him, or to the side of him now, is Van Heerden. So watch out for this. If you're looking to buy a new car, this is what we're talking about. Opel versus Ford. Which one is the fastest? Because this is a straight-out drag race.
I'm glad you didn't say it as well, because you're not going to be buying any of those unless they're second-hand. But what a car. It's had a great outing and obviously wrapped up their championships. It's sad to see the Sayat not going to be on the circuits for next year. But a lot of little nudging and barging going on. This is what the Killarney crowds have come to see. Some really exciting Bridgestone production Class T racing, but way out front, Gary Formato. He's on a different level.
No, just untouchable. Since he's got that new car, it seems to have had no problems getting itself into the groove, and he is pulling away. Duminy's on the same kind of machinery, but remember, he's still learning the track. Look at that lead going into the last lap that Formato has over Heinz Bozé. So that's 1 and 2 on the road for the Ford Motor Company. They will be very, very pleased. Remember, this is the first year that both those cars have competed in the National Bridgestone Class T Championship.
But this is a battle I'm hoping we're going to stay with. There's a fight for third place. Great, as I said earlier, to see Kurt Alchin in the GTI right up there battling for third. He's got Graham Nathan in for a shout, as well as Gary van Heerden. And they've got a couple of corners to go in that long back straight, so expect to see a lot of overtaking coming to that final corner, which is that bank bend known as Cape Town corner. That's where I think it's going to go down.
But remember, we've got Van Heerden and Nathan shoulder to shoulder, former teammates, very good friends off the track as well. And Graham's already got the championship sewn up, so as much as he can, I would think he'll be trying to help out his good friend, see if they can both overtake Alchin, who is driving the widest Golf GTI out there.
Yeah, you don't expect anything less from him. I disagree, though, because remember, I said earlier in this race that he wants to win the overall title, which is an amazing thing for a guy in a Class T car. Also interesting, Gary Formato, the times he's running now, I think he's like 3 seconds faster than they were the first time they came to the track, beginning of the season. So the development in Class T has been awesome. Gary Formato, the Nando's Ford Focus ST, unbelievable. He's wrapping it up with a good win. In second place, Hans Bazet and the Mazda, what a great outing for him.
Formato's winning margin was more than 5 seconds, a light year plus 2 months in production car racing terms. The Ford Racing team leader was certainly a happy camper and glad to speak to us.
Look, the car's fantastic this weekend. It was a lonely race, I'm not going to lie to you, but you know, obviously with Reggie not being in the field, I think it's sort of made life a little bit easier for me today. But you know, once again, just kudos to the whole team. The car's easy to drive, and I got on the radio after the race and said, you know, when you've got a car like that, it actually is quite easy. And you know, it's all their hard work and all the ideas and so on that have got into the car to make it like it is, and it makes my job a pleasure.
And it's rolling start. The final time we're going to see the Bridgestone Production Class T cars on a racetrack for this season. Long wait till March when the first race starts, and it's all action going to race 2. We can see a Mazda coming together with Gary van Heerden. Yeah, that's Etienne Prinsloo and Graham Donker coming together. Graham Nathan looking for evasive action routes around turn number 1. I thought it was going to be a sedate start to the final race of the season. The man smiling, the PG Glass GTR of Jan Pepper, his final race of his career.
Yeah, it's nice to see Pepper out there. He's going to be hanging up the leathers, hanging up the helmet, concentrating on developing his daughter Tasman and his young son Geordie, who's coming through the karting ranks. So we will say a fond farewell to a strong champion in the PG Autoglass GTI. It's nice to see him leading out.
But not the end of the Pepper family in the racing circles. Tasman doing exceptionally well in the Formula Volkswagens, and we're going to be seeing her later on in the races as well. And of course the junior coming through the karting ranks. We have a look at Sean Dubney there, getting it all sideways. He's learning a new track, and hopefully by race number 2 he's going to know his way around there. Him and Mark Carver in a ding-dong battle. But this for me is the most exciting corner at this track. Flat out down that long back straight at Killarney, then heavy on the brakes through the Cape Town corner. And Etienne Prinsloo looking for a great result in race number 2. He did well in race 1, but I'm sure wanting to finish in the top 3 in that Bizab MPS Mazda of his, looking fast at Killarney.
Well, the big thing to watch out for here is everyone wants to win the last race. That's what it's all about. That's what it's come down to as well. And you've got the big names, all the men that count, and all the manufacturers are up there. They really want bragging rights to say they were the fastest at the end of the year and they had the best car.
I'm sure it's a big confidence builder as well going into next season, because you know you finished on a high and you start your development from that platform. And a man who's certainly built on a good platform here at Killarney has been Kurt Alchin. Good result race number 1 with a second place, looking to consolidate on that in race 2. A lot of dirt going through that corner as he's following Graham Nathan, whose car is all over the road, and he's gone evasive trying to miss the back of that Seat. And look who's come steaming past, is Heinz Bozé. Wow, that was the right way to get out of an incident, I think. Take the evasive route to the right while everybody else goes farming to the left.
Well, that was it. Everyone was absolutely buried coming out of that corner. Van Heerden pushed everyone out onto the dirt. Everyone seemed to follow his line, and that just allowed a nice, clean bit of track to open up as wide as you like. And Heinz Bozé came tearing through there. He's looking so good at the end of the season.
And Etienne Prinsloo has got past Jan Pepper, so has Gary van Heerden. So what a result, a great weekend to have the Mazda leading out in this final race. We have a look at Sean Dubney, seems to be coming to grips with the circuit at Killarney, fighting out with Kurt Alchin and Graham Donker, a glimpse of him going past there as well. But this is the battle up front, 3 guys in with a shout, and of course Graham Nathan, if he stays where he is right now, he's going to win the overall title for Bridgestone Production Cars for the season. What a great result.
I get the feeling, looking at Prinsloo, you might be living on borrowed time, because Van Heerden is pushing so hard in that Opel Astra OPC. He's got the right car underneath him. It was very kind and very nice of Record Roots, his strong teammate, to climb out of that car. At the end of the day, only one man can drive it, and I think Gary is representing very well.
Yeah, he's been playing second fiddle, I guess, and I know he won't take offense to me saying that, to the very fast record routes. But this is his time now. Let's see what he does with that opportunity as he chases down Etienne Prinsloo out front. Have a look how late he's leaving his braking, and that Mazda is getting very twitchy, and I think that's what Gary van Heerden wants to see. Under severe pressure, Etienne hasn't led many races at all. I think it's probably the first time out front, and you do start feeling that pressure as the race goes down. That has got to be the most novel way I've seen anybody open a boot. Gary van Heerden rubbing Hans Bozé the wrong way, and he's dragging bodywork down that straight while his teammate sets off at a blistering pace, hoping to win race 2.
Well, I thought these guys weren't allowed to run with wings, but we'll throw that one out to the judges and see what they come back with. It's going to cause problems, I can tell you that right now. His teammate at the front representing very, very well. Prinsloo's up there. Nathan comes charging through. Pepper has had problems with setup. He's still running strong there in 4th, but he has dropped back. Remember, he was leading the early laps.
But Gary van Heerden right on the back of Etienne Prinsloo, getting a super great tow. That Opel Astra OPC is super fast, and he's got the good line. Now it comes down to who's got the most commitment coming onto the brakes. We've seen Etienne brake really late, and that Mazda got twitchy, but Gary's leaving his braking even later, and what a clean, good overtaking move. Round turn number 1 here at Killarney. He's got a clean track ahead of him now. I don't think Etienne will live with him.
Everyone giving each other enough space. They don't want to take each other out at this late stage. They've had a great, great race to get to this point. And Nathan tries to move up the inside. Ooh, he had to back it out there. That was very, very close. Prinsloo will never know how close he came to being shoved out the way by Graham Nathan. We go into a left hand. That should give it back to him. Yes, it does. Nathan has to concede that position, but he is running on borrowed time. Late braking, and how on earth does Graham Nathan know how long that bonnet is on his car? Because there was nothing in that.
No, that was an unbelievable piece of racing we've just seen there. Wise enough to get on the brakes, not cause an incident, and then have the commitment on the next corner to just stick it up to the inside. But Etienne Prinsloo not giving up. Graham Nathan going in a bit hot into that corner. It's important, of course, to get good drive out there because you've got the long straight ahead of you. And he just went in too hot. Has given Etienne that position right back. And it's brought Ian Pepper into the mix going into Cape Town corner.
That's closed everything up. Second place is anyone's at this stage. And don't forget about Duminy. He's come on. He's a quiet little man, just sneaking up. He might get involved in this battle, but we are running out of laps. Van Heerden is stretching his legs off the front. He has dropped that battle for second place. It's all about the Mazda, the Seat, the Golf GTI, and the Ford.
And you called it, Matt. Going into the final corner, open up a healthy lead. Look at the smoking car of Etienne Prinsloo, late on the brakes again in this corner. But Graham Nathan has got himself up to second position. A great result for him. But well done, Gary van Heerden. His first win in Bridgestone Production Class T's. What a way to end the season. Graham Nathan, his second, wraps up the overall Bridgestone Production title. What a year.
Gary van Heerden's maiden production car win was decisive. He finished 2 seconds ahead of champion Graham Nathan Sayat to earn Car Magazine's Rookie of the Day award. Meanwhile, Dani van Niekerk took his Stanger Ford Fiesta ST to both of the day's Class B victories, leading home Percy Swanepoel's Varnet's Toyota Runex RSI. Class T winner Gary van Heerden told us about his rocky road to victory.
Yeah, we bet a little bit this weekend, but it turned out pretty well at the end. And with the car, Reggie gave me his car to race at the end of the day, so that, his car won again. This is how it's working.
No, it's brilliant. Tell me, what went through the whole weekend? What problems were you experiencing? And I'm sure I heard also that you guys wanted to leave halfway through practice.
Oh, no, we sat down and we actually discussed it, and we had gone through 3 drive shafts on Reggie's car, battling with it after his last incident as well. My head gasket went, car was overheating. Eventually we took a chance, and some local guy here built one for us. The guy was awesome, helped us out. We put the thing together. My first lap that I did yesterday was in qualifying, and it went well. We qualified 4th, and we got out there today and we gave it our best shot.
The fact that vehicles from Seat, Volkswagen, Ford and Opel were all represented in the top 5 championship places indicates how fiercely competitive Class T of the Bridgestone production car title chase became this year, with more to come in 2009.